Randy Peterson is a senior researcher for the Texas Public Policy Foundation. Recently wrote an article in the Washington Times saying that they're wrong. Criminologist sees better fixes than defunding the police movement. It highlights the dangers behind that movement as well. He joins us now live to discuss. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Our panelists are also standing by. Randy, I'll go to you, though. You know, we saw many congressional races during the 2020 election, Americans rejecting this idea of defunding the police. Instead, they voted for those Republicans who promised that they would stand with our policemen and women. However, some politicians, they still want to see these police departments reformed or changed. But as you know, that's going to cost some money. So what might you lose when you are calling to defund the police?
Well, the very first thing that you lose is training, and that's the best mechanism for reform or improvements in policing is through training. And unfortunately, when you cut budgets, when you defund the police, that's one of the first areas that has to go. Training is expensive. It's manpower intensive. It requires resources. And as conservatives, it's money well spent because we rightfully have a healthy scrutiny of government operations, including policing, and always think that there can be improvements made there. But defunding is absolutely the wrong way to handle that.
Yeah, and clearly, Governor Walker, when you look at it from a political standpoint, defunding the police, it was not a hit. That slogan did not land with Americans. When you think about that leaked phone call that kind of looked at the analysis of what went right and what went wrong for Democrats when they were thinking about those House races. And I look to the current election that is underway. Of course, we're looking at these Georgia Senate candidates, and we've heard Raphael Warnock being forced to deny allegations that his campaign believes in the defunding the police movement after reports that his staffers support the cause here. How important is running on this slogan or running against this slogan when it comes to these elections?
Well, it's an incredibly important issue, and it should be, particularly amongst older voters. It's part of the challenge, though, we find with younger voters in our schools for years now and our colleges. You see these radicals pushing this agenda that says there's something wrong with the police. They're teaching our young people to hate America. It's part of the reason why I'm excited to be the new leader at Young America's Foundation, because we've got to counter that. We've got to teach young people the truth, to defend the police, to stand up for the good and decent men and women in law enforcement, and beyond that, to defend and love our country, to understand the benefits of freedom over socialism. Those are all things that are at stake, not just in today's election in Georgia, and not just in the coming days, but for the next generation. We've got to push back. Ronald Reagan had it right. He said freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. And that's what's at stake right now. We got to push back and fight for our freedoms.
Always got to look ahead to the next generation of voters when you think about topics that are important. Randy Peterson joining us this morning. Thank you very much. Panelists, stick around. Still more to get to.